and then make you pay when you go through.
Hello and welcome to the Craig and Greg Show.
Double taxed.
We got a great show.
I'm ready to start the
lined
tea
up for you
party
today. We got Craig and Greg already bickering
The
back
tea party
there,
were bird dogs.
talking about all kinds of shenanigans
That was
going
one
on
of
in
the
the
first.
political realm.
Bird dogging is a true American.
We
I
wanted
bird
to
dog
switch.
every time we go to the bar, and I instigate people.
We wanted to do
I'm
bird
bird
dogging.
dogging. I'm bird dogging.
We're bird dog. We're defining
dogging.
it for
I
you.
guess I
Greg.
bird dog
Exactly.
you every
We're
time
gonna
I talk to you.
Yeah, you are. You trolls on
You
Twitter
guys are bird dogging the
dogs.
show right
We're
now.
bird dogging. Okay, that later on.
Later on, everybody, thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Alec Italiano.
You're bird Twitter.
We're going to be taking you through
Twitter dog.
the political
Twitter
events.
dog.
Greg, do I have to shut your mic off? All right.
Like,
Jeez
I
Louise,
wish
I'm
we
trying
had
to do
mute
the
buttons.
intro.
Okay, intro.
Yeah, we got a great show. My name's Alec. I got Greg over here who keeps interrupting with me. I'm not going to even ask him to acknowledge his own name because he's just going to go on a tangent.
You know who it is.
And I got Craig Ryan over here to my left. How we doing over there, Craig?
Don't take away my roads.
You were just arguing against her.
I don't even have to explain the demeanor of either. But we have a great show. We got
fourth installment.
We're going to be breaking down the Trump path for victory. And how many days we got left here? Seven?
Six in it's like 5 hours.
6 and 5
Well,
hours.
the polls open at 10. Sorry, 6 in.
Early voting. We already had like a fifth of the country voting.
What's the number we got there? 24.5 million.
You know
Talk
what? You
about
love
that
it. You're in Pennsylvania when you listen to this show. Shove it.
What?
Yeah, you like that? McGinty
I don't think
Toomey
the internet
coming up
just
big.
contained to Pennsylvania.
Correct. Did you know though? But did you know that this is the most money ever spent on a senatorial election? And it's right here in Pennsylvania between Toomey and McGinty. So it's important this political season.
I learned that today.
Gloomy
during the,
Toomey and Shady
show prep.
McGinty.
Those are great nicknames.
Gloomy
I love
Toomey.
it. I love it. What else are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about the WikiLeaks. We're going to be talking about Comey. We're going to be talking about all those email investigations, pay for play. And then Greg's got a special show,
Yeah. Some
little
things
section.
I hate about this election.
His little
It's
comments.
just
We're actually all going to do our little comments on
Yeah,
our favorite things here.
favorite things and least favorite things. We're going to have a section on
And we're
that.
going to top it off with early voting, but I want to start this show talking about the map, Greg. Greg spent a lot of time on a map
We're going to
today.
post this picture online, I hope.
Yes, we
so
are.
people can see this.
We are definitely going to do that.
Probably the greatest free-handed drawing of the United States.
I'm not going to lie. It's quite impressive.
That's no tracing. what would happen if you tried to draw a map of the U.S., Greg?
Oh, I'm glad you didn't ask me.
Well, I wouldn't have freehanded it, but
It's a little bit bigger because I got to use bigger paper. If you print it
Yeah,
out
but
online, the paper's too small.
Texas doesn't look like that.
Okay, Texas is a little fucked up. I had to start somewhere, and it's tough to base the scale of the entire country.
And
off
Pennsylvania
one
is a little
state.
bit longer, not so fat.
All right,
Why did you
hold
turn us
on.
into fat? Oh, because we're so
The
important.
paper's
this time.
taller than it is long. It's
And
the
whose
scale.
fault is
I
that then,
scaled it.
Greg?
I only
Huh?
have so many options with
Duh.
a limited budget.
You distorted
Don't
the
wanna hear
picture
it.
when you drew it.
We have a very
Please
limited
donate.
budget.
Please donate to the Craig
CNN
and
gets
Greg
a
show.
board that you can just poke and they change colors.
yeah. That'd be
This,
great.
I didn't have a purple colored
Well,
pencil, so
we're
I had
not-
to merge them.
We're not on TV, so we don't.
We're
need
not
to
on TV,
poke
yeah.
out the
You'll see-
colors.
yeah.
and
But
all.
I have these comments to make, Greg. I learned a lot of things looking at your map. Number one thing was the only way Trump really has a chance, basically, is Pennsylvania or Michigan. But Michigan isn't that realistic.
Well, it's also assuming Trump has to take Florida and Ohio. If you look at Mitt Romney's map from 2012, he took Utah and Arizona, ended up losing Nevada, Colorado, and New Mexico. He lost Ohio and he lost Florida, but he won North Carolina. If he can take and all the other, we're talking Montana, Wyoming, all the breadbasket states stayed the
Right,
same.
right.
He lost Iowa and Wisconsin as well on the Northeast or the central Northeast. But if you take Romney's map and you assume that he wins Florida and Ohio,
That's 206. Romney had 206.
yes, he had 206 to
2012.
what? Yes, which talk about a landslide. You
Yeah.
would think when you win by that much, you'd get to pick a Supreme Court justice.
You would think.
I would say
Wouldn't
that the
you say,
people
Craig?
voted for somebody.
Wouldn't
that could,
you say,
but
Craig?
Hey,
I'm not opposed. I think they should be reviewing Obama's choice.
They should be. But let's
They don't have to
continue.
approve it, but
So
yeah,
if we have Romney's map, he has 206 electoral college. You have Ohio that has 18. You have Florida that have 29. So if you give those two states to him, you give him those 47 points there, you end up with 253. Now 269 ties it.
yes, but let's clarify on that.
Yes.
Normally, you need 270 to win.
Yes.
However, there were only 538 total electoral votes. So that leaves room for each one to get 269. And when you have states like Maine and Nebraska where you actually can split your electoral votes, that 1 point could be
makes a
really,
difference.
really crucial.
So
in this
basically,
especially Maine.
So
Maine should go 3
in-
Hillary, 1 Trump.
and what are the two states? Maine and
Nebraska's going to go.
Nebraska.
Nebraska's pretty safe to say.
But
we'll
those
go
two,
5,
those two are
5
the
for
only
Hillary.
two that can split
Yes.
a vote.
All the rest are popular.
Because that happens a
State
lot in the
vote.
primary, which I
Yes.
think we learned a lot about this year. So basically, Trump needs 16 points to tie, 17
which
points
would
to
push
win,
it to Congress.
which would push it to which 100% Greg says
I'm
if it
saying
goes
there's
to Congress.
I mean,
then
but Craig thinks that maybe they could point McMullen. I don't know the details.
If he wins,
I'm
some states.
hoping that the major news networks over the next week explain what happens if neither candidate makes it. Because I don't think most people are sure exactly how this process will work out.
Yeah.
If neither candidate's there. I'm
You have
pretty
a
sure it's
third.
just a congressional vote.
Yeah.
And they could
Yeah.
vote for Pence.
Pence, yeah.
From what
maybe.
I understand, Pence could be.
That would be better.
I think.
I believe it goes to the House
we
first.
should have researched this before the show.
Yeah, I'm almost
I get-
positive.
we had too much
I'm almost
information
positive
in this.
on this one. I'm pretty sure it goes to the House first, and if the House doesn't elect, then it goes to the Senate.
Does it need to be 2/3 or anything like that, or is it just a simple majority
I think
vote?
it's a simple majority. I'm not. Those are details.
Yeah,
but,
I would like. I hope a major.
but it can tie in the House.
Yes, but
So-
either way. So if Trump's sitting at 253, that
Yeah.
means he needs at least 16
16.
to get to that point. I'm
Right.
assuming he's going to win if he gets.
So if he wins
269.
Pennsylvania at that point,
he gets
then
270.
he's
out
got
there.
it because Pennsylvania's got
20 votes. You're over
Michigan
270.
ties it at 16.
16, yes.
And then you have the other. You have
We got Wisconsin and Iowa. You can get
Wisconsin.
10 from Wisconsin, 6 from Iowa.
in Nevada.
And those are 2 votes. Well, that's a different. Okay, I'm talking different combinations that he could get
Okay.
to make this number.
Yes.
Assuming he has Romney's map plus Florida and Ohio. So
And North Carolina too, right? You're not North Carolina. You're giving to Trump.
yes, I believe so. Now,
Okay.
Oh yeah, because Romney took North Carolina. So
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes, oh, yeah.
Romney won in 12. Obama
so I'm
won
assuming
in
he
08,
has
North
Utah,
Carolina.
Arizona, North Carolina,
Yeah.
Ohio, and Florida
Yeah.
are the only battlegrounds right now
Yeah.
that Romney took
Yeah.
that are available. So if he gets all of those, all he would have to take is PA's to 20,
Mm-hmm.
Michigan 16, Wisconsin and Iowa. Romney did not take. They're both leaning. So,
I'm rooting for Michigan. I want to see a tie.
I don't want to see a tie.
That'd be fun.
Okay, what do you?
I have the what happens if they have a tie.
Okay.
Oh,
You
could
wanna-
you
Here we
inform
go.
us, please?
Yeah, I looked it up while you guys were rambling. So
Someone's on the ball.
if it ends in a tie, what they do is they go to the House of Representatives with each state delegation having 1 vote.
The modern-
you need a majority of 26 states to win. Senators would
You need
elect
a
the vice
majority.
president.
What
Each senator
do you
would
know?
have
Oh, the senator?
They would elect the vice president. So
is
then
it
they would
this
be able to
current-
put Pence as the president and Kane as the vice president if we block them.
God.
Or they could just take if Hillary
Oh,
had the most.
Well, that would be
Oh.
fine.
They could do like a Hillary.
After
Trump.
all of this,
Yeah.
after
Yeah,
all
yeah,
of
yeah.
this, though,
Yeah.
to put us through everything that they have to give us Pence Kane. I mean, did we have to do
But
this?
they
Did
could
we
also
really,
take.
like,
they,
this
they
is-
could take the option there to
Your boy,
take
McMullen.
whoever. Say Hillary has
Do
the
you know
most.
what happened to him today? Apparently, there was a robocall calling him gay or something because he's 40 and
Oh.
so.
Yeah, I heard it. He defended
40 and
himself.
single.
Yeah, he did. I thought he
This
did a
one.
good job.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Trump didn't get on air and deny it. His campaign did. I'm
But
surprised
see,
he
he
didn't
has the
actually make a
12-point
statement.
swing out there. In
Six-
where's he in again?
6 point Utah. He got 6
Utah.
points out in Utah that could easily put this in a tie. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
to that in a second.
If he doesn't win, if
Because
they don't
then
win,
those are 6 points that
and
Clinton
it goes
didn't
to
get.
the Senate and the House to decide there.
They can elect anyone on a ticket.
Well, what if they go with say Hillary has more electoral college votes than Trump, and they would take Hillary as the president and say Trump to be the VP? Would Trump take that?
Logic. I can't see a scenario where that happens.
Would-
These two can never be in the same room.
Trying
again
to-
after
but
this.
trying
we
to
had
keep
4.5
the
hours of them standing beside each other. And that is
I
more than
just-
enough for America.
How do you think they would keep the country together by just choosing somebody off the law?
At least Trump has a place to stay, so they wouldn't have to stay in the same. Like Trump could stay at
That
Trump
is
Towers. Hillary can stay in the White
Does
House.
the vice president live at the White House also?
Why are you
No,
playing music already?
no, he doesn't.
Yeah, that's why I didn't think the vice president. He could still live up in New York.
Does
No, there's a special place at the vice president.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a secured location.
But do you,
Because the whole point of the vice presidency, you can't have you can't have them at the same place at the same time.
Will they do at the They do
For
a lot.
certain occasions, but not for like everyday living quarters because you just don't want to have that.
Do you know though? Is it the current House that votes, or is it the recently, like now that we're having an election?
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
I don't
current
know.
House.
Would it be
Would
the
it be
people
the
that?
one-
But what if the House
Well, no, because
changes?
it would be the current one because they
It would
don't
have to
actually
be the
put them
current
in
one.
until
after,
next year.
but at the
Yeah.
same time,
So it'd
if they're voting on the current election, shouldn't it be the most recently voted in congressman?
You'd
Like,
think,
why would
yeah.
you have?
But you don't have
Ah,
enough time
dude.
for that because they're not in
Democracy
office.
in action, Greg.
I don't know.
Democracy.
Because
in
your
action.
term goes till the end of the
Let's.
year.
Pr-
It just depends on
if
the time.
it goes to this, there's going to be problems.
Ugh.
Like, there's going to be
A rewriting of the Constitution, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's happened once before. Though.
I'd like to remind everybody you're listening to the Craig and Greg Show. I'm Alec. We're talking about the current electoral situation right here now between Trump and Hillary and all the different impacts that could happen and all the different scenarios.
The main scenario I'm seeing is Trump has to win Florida. No Florida, there's no chance.
I agree.
Florida and North Carolina
And
He
Ohio.
He could, yeah. He has a lot of support in Ohio.
I guess.
What's the early
I
voting
already
looking
wrote that
like in
off as
Florida?
his state.
Do we have any of that?
What?
I heard it was like tied in
It's
Florida. with
tied
the
it's
early
going
vote.
back and forth for a
Yeah,
couple
it's
days
been
now. It's
back.
oscillating. Like it's.
It wouldn't surprise me if he won Florida, I guess.
But he
I
has.
figured the Latino vote, though. Where did that go? That's what you said about North Carolina. The black vote's not going to show up.
I don't think so. They're so further down in early voting. The number that they've got there is down. I believe they said it's only 3%, but still, the big concern is that she can't afford that 3%. Like Obama barely lost North Carolina last time around. If it's a little bit less on the support, I don't.
I don't understand early voting. I know we're talking
We're
about
gonna
it
talk
later
about
on
it
in the
later,
show,
yeah,
but it just baffles me. I don't know.
I
don't
get it, but I don't at the same time. I think
get
I
it
don't know why
all.
we don't have a day off. We're talking. Like,
I don't
let's save
either.
this,
It
let's
should be a
save this.
national holiday.
Yes, we'll talk about that.
We will. We'll get to that later.
But if Trump does win Florida and doesn't win PA or Michigan, if they both stay blue, then he's going to need to run a clean sweep. Iowa, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico. If he doesn't get New Mexico, I guess New Hampshire would also cut it.
Yeah,
I don't think.
no,
I don't think he's. I think
New
Bernie's.
Hampshire's got 4, so
And it's Bernie's state. I really don't see that going Trump. I don't see Michigan going Trump, considering that was Mitt
Did it not
Romney's.
go-
it was
didn't
Mitt
New
Romney's home
Hampshire-
state, and he didn't take it.
New Hampshire went red for Romney in 12. No,
I
no.
believe so. No.
I thought it was because you had it red on the map.
No, that's the Maine. Maine's the creepy little vote
Okay,
up there. That's not New Hampshire.
that confused me over there.
This is it's not the most perfect map. I did it. This was by hand. This was.
Let's reiterate the fact that
yeah,
Greg did his map by hand.
This was
okay?
not. This was not. I had nothing
Everybody,
else to
it
base
was-
this off of.
He did it. He had the option to use a straight edge, but he respectively declined.
Because the America has boundaries that are crooked. They got little.
But some of them are straight.
I
Some
do
of them
want
are.
to. I do want to.
And they
talk
are. This is
about-
pretty straight there. We got Utah, Colorado, Arizona, New Mexico. Got a good grid. Getting off topic. He's gonna have to sweep through a lot of these states. And if say he takes 3 and Utah goes to nobody, then we get an instance of a 267, an odd.
I do want to take a quick minute and talk about strategy, though.
Oh yeah, where they put their money at.
No, not so much that, but I just think it's funny that Trump's doing 5 rallies in a day, flying around from place to
It's-
place.
And Hillary's hiding.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Hillary's been doing a
complete-
couple a day, which is a lot for her. It's-
She needs to take at least a couple of day nap.
exhausting. She's taking a nap. Look at her. She needs to nap for 4 days before the debate. She's not at home preparing.
Well, she lost Obama, who was doing really good for her out in the campaign trail there. But
Obama did pretty well today.
Yeah. Didn't they cancel a lot of their They had scheduled rallies, and I believe they canceled them.
No, they've actually turned them all up, Craig. It's what's annoying the hell out of everybody. Is Obama won't get on. Him and Michelle are just surging up and down the coast.
See, I did see they were out a lot, but I thought they
He-
scheduled off.
He had a big North Carolina speech today. It was one of the better speeches I've heard him give yet.
Yeah, but do you think it's fair for Obama to be surrogating this much for Hillary? I mean, I think
No.
it's kind of Bush league.
I don't. Even though it is.
You don't
it
think
makes-
you don't think it's fair?
I don't think it's fair. I think
I don't either.
I think it sets a bad precedent.
Me too.
I think that this can be used for future candidates to actively campaign on just senator runs, 2-year bids. Maybe not, instead of concerning yourself with your reelection or who your predecessor's reelection, let's say you want to get involved in a primary. Let's say for a particular senator or a particular
I mean,
congressman.
they always get involved down ballot. So
But I'm talking, you rarely see it someone actively attacking a particular person.
Right.
Because this could be Hillary attacking Dowdy or Chaffetz too. When she gets in and realizes there are a couple people that are real thorns in her side. Both candidates, I think, are going to be vindictive about this. And I don't, even though Obama is killing it right now, which he's the only reason right now I'm probably going to vote for Hillary.
Those commercials are really good.
They're good.
That she was able to use of his campaign rallies. So they almost make me want to vote for him until I realize what they stand for.
He's just such a bad. I mean,
Thanks for being honest,
if we're
man.
talking temperament, which each candidate keeps criticizing the other's temperament, at least Obama keeps it cool.
Oh, he definitely does.
Like he's not as outrageous as these two.
No,
with the
he's
screaming.
very calm-headed.
If anything, I don't like him as much as he's been yelling lately.
I think that's why
he's
he
been
gets-
raising his voice. I don't know how much I like that. I like calm. I got calm Obama.
I think as the years come to pass, a lot of people will
Stoic Obama.
relate to Obama to Lincoln.
Well, no, Lincoln was pretty. I think it was actually bombastic.
Why do
Yeah,
we-
but I still
why do we-
think
Why
he was
not? Bombastic's a bad word
perceived-
for it.
He was still perceived as cool, calm, and collected.
Why is
He
the
led us through
background
a
music
war.
still
He
on?
did, well, Lincoln used to
I'm
write
just like
critique.
jamming out over it.
Yeah.
I can't. It's too loud over top of you guys.
What
You think?
Yeah,
the music?
it's like getting me.
Why has it
distracted.
been playing so long?
Because I
'Cause
just like having
Alec
the background.
likes background music while we talk.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to transition. We are 16 minutes into the show.
And
That was a
but
really
you kept
long
bringing up
transition.
new subjects.
Yeah, well, I just got into a rhythm there. I don't see why we can't have some music on in the background. So I'm just
They
gonna
were
keep-
talking also.
What is this song?
It's Portugal the Man. Purple, yellow, red, and blue.
Portugal's not a man; it's a country.
Portugal the Man's a band.
Can't we play some Gucci Man? He just got out of jail. He put out this. You hear his new CD, Craig?
I heard one of the songs with Teacher.
Oh, yeah. Let's play some new Gucci Goo Wall.
The music video of this is pretty trippy. Although it is called Purple, Yellow, Red, and Blue, so. Alright, welcome back. This is the Craig and Greg Show. I am your host, Alec Italiano. We've been talking a lot about the election. We've been talking about strategy. We've been talking about the Electoral College, pathways to win, different scenarios. But this show is based in Pennsylvania. I want to get to the big U.S. senatorial race. McGinty versus Toomey. Woo! Most money ever spent. Ever. Breaking records left and right like it's global warming. On campaign money. I've been keeping...
Yeah, I
mean,
think today we broke an 80-year-old record for.
it's 77 in November.
Yeah.
Things getting
80
crazy.
It hasn't been that hot in November for 80 years.
But here's the current
Something like
situation here. We got McGinty up by
I'm not even
5
saying
points
it's
in
because of
Pennsylvania on the average poll.
Global
Clinton
warming
is
was
up
80 years ago?
5.1 points in Pennsylvania. 2 weeks ago, Clinton was up 11 points. Have you guys been listening to a word I've been
11
saying?
points down to 6 points.
Down to 5.
5 points.
No, you haven't been
It
listening.
went down 6 points to 5 points. My bad.
Well, hey, yeah, it was your bad there, Greg. All right, that's why, because you weren't paying attention. Anyways,
You're bad, Greg.
Yeah.
That sort of blows my
I
personal.
don't even, yeah.
That blows my personal prediction out of the
Slam
water.
my pen down as I
that-
that.
We were gonna see a split. I thought Toomey was gonna win, and then we were gonna see Trump or Hillary win the state, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen right now. A little bit of a crazy situation. I mean, it's just we talked about this last show. Really strikes me how you got the shady Katie, and then you got the dirty Hillary scandals, and it's just such a microcosm, and it's funny because they're putting so much money into it, and it just blows my mind. And I don't know, I don't like either of them either.
No, it sucks that we finally made the national stage, and these are the two candidates we're showing.
That's what's happening.
Gloomy Tootie, Shady McGinty, basically running the same campaigns as the people that are running ahead of them on the presidential ballot, but neither one will wholeheartedly endorse their
No.
candidate. They both are like
Still
standing
no.
because nobody really knows how PA voters are going to go with Trump.
No,
I don't believe that there's going to be a lot of split tickets here. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people that go, I can't do Trump, but I'm going to vote Republican down ballot. Now, I don't know how many Democrats in general there are that would vote not for Hillary and then vote Democrats down ballot.
do you think
I don't
we'll
think
see?
there's a lot
Do you
of
think
people
we'll
that are
see a
gonna
lot of write-ins?
No. I don't. I think there's a much stronger Trump presence.
Are you
in
voting?
this
Are you
state.
voting for Toomey over there, Craig?
Yeah.
He's the Republican.
Is there a libertarian? Do we got a libertarian candidate? out
No.
here? Opening.
Oh, for me to run.
Yeah, there you go.
A little late for that.
Give me a couple years to get my bird dog operation set up.
Yeah, we
so
gotta
we'll
get
be able to run
bird
that,
dog.
but we're gonna communicate with each other, so it's not this shady super PAC.
Are we gonna use a private email server?
No, with no emails.
No
No
emails.
campaign I ever manage will ever do emails. We're doing snail mail. You burn after you receive it. Burn notice. This-
Certified burn notice?
Nobody will get this information. If you even think that it could be controversial, no email.
Is there?
Don't Snapchat it to me.
Snapchats disappear though. It's a good
That's
source.
Hillary's problem. Why didn't they just communicate?
should have been
through
Snapchatting.
That would have been the whole
Only
solution.
they had that
Disappear
on
on
a
the
BlackBerry at that
problem.
time. That would have been. You know, I heard that was one of the biggest reasons why she got caught is that she loved her BlackBerry so much that she refused to get a phone that like was more secure.
She also talked about the yoga things.
Well-
There's never been. We haven't found one about yoga yet.
Yoga.
Her whole excuse at the time was there's nothing about but wedding planning and yoga.
And emailing Bill, who says he doesn't email.
Because Bill's just pimping all the
Why
time.
would
He
Bill
doesn't-
email? Bill has no need. To
I don't
email.
email that much. Like I don't understand.
Greg's
why.
never sent an email in his life.
I've
sent about.
emails to school before.
I send probably 30
It's called
emails
text
daily.
messaging. We have text messaging, and you can send a document in a text message. Why do you have to email it?
Well,
Crazy, Greg.
Like, what scenario do you have
Crazy
to email
Katie.
something where you couldn't just
Shady
text it
Katie.
to me? If you just wanted to send me a document, well, Craig wants to send one of his stupid pictures to me.
I'm
He doesn't
trying to
need
send you a
email. Like,
document,
just
Greg.
attach it to
You're making a counter argument against yourself because if I'm actually trying to send you a document, then it's
you have
much.
to put in an
Put a link.
attachment.
Send
You
me a
need-
link.
No, you need. It's
That'd-
not. You
that'd
don't
be a
publish it
link
on
like
the internet.
An article.
Or you're talking about something you personally typed that you haven't put on the internet yet.
Or like a large PDF file or something like that. I mean, like a contract, like any kind of work that you're doing that you want to send that you don't want to simultaneously publish on the internet. Then yeah, you got to send it by an email.
What about when WikiLeaks hacks it and then publishes it on the internet?
Well, I mean, for the average person, it's probably
If
not
it's
a
that
problem for
important,
them.
you don't want it on the internet. Alec, I live 10 minutes away. Just drive it over to me.
All right, well, what
You don't
about,
need to risk it.
I lived in Erie for 6 years. You know, what if I was trying to send you something from up there, huh?
Drive.
Yeah.
Horses.
Let me drive two
He's
and a
got
half hours
horses.
US
just to
mail.
give you this printed out document that
Craig.
I've been working on.
U.S. mail.
Crazy stuff
get-
going
yeah, get
on.
You
the
can
mail.
send
here.
it 2-day priority.
Boom.
2-day priority.
There's express. It'll be there tomorrow by noon.
But apparently McGinty
and how
has
much
an
would
email
that cost
scam.
me? $27.48, huh, Craig?
McGinty
Can I get an estimate over here?
I don't know that.
Yeah, overnight and something's freaking expensive. I learned that the hard way the one time I was
Okay.
late for something.
McGinty has an email.
Oh, you get your money back by the way, if it doesn't get there in time.
Well, that's good to
It's a
know.
little trick. You tell the person on the other end.
We got the inside scoop over here. the
Get
USPS.
the mailman to delay it.
Make the call. Make the call. Oh man.
There's not a lot to comment about this election for us.
No.
It's just really it's happening. I don't. You think it's going to be split?
I mean, I was kind of hoping it was going to be split, but it doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
I just don't see that. But I think there are a lot of what do they call them? The silent majority Trumpers
That's
that
kind
are
of what I
scared
was
to fill out a
thinking.
poll because they're worried the IRS is going to try and audit them or
I
something.
thought there'd be more of a silent majority.
I think it is. I don't think they're filling out the polls. We talked about that. Craig. We don't.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't trust them.
We don't trust it. Yeah,
No,
I was.
I'm not-
that
I'm
was
not a
going to be
poll
my last
fan.
question in this segment. Actually, is how much can we really rely on the polls?
They
right
use the
now?
polls to sway opinion. Our public opinion in this country is not.
Does the
that
poll
powerful.
lead the opinion, or does the opinion lead the poll? That is the question right now. You know,
I
Doesn't
hope
seem
I hope
like
the
they
polls
do.
don't affect anybody's opinion, but I doubt that's true.
I doubt that
doubt that's
also
true,
as
too.
well.
I bet
Yeah,
there were some-
Everyone wants to be on the winning team.
But the question is, are you more motivated to show up if you think you're losing or winning?
I don't know.
Because I actually think it's. Why would you want to project winning and take the chance of your people going?
I don't
So-
need to go.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather not vote for this candidate anyways. It looks
No,
like I'm not
I
going to
don't-
have to.
I
I can
don't.
get away with voting a third party.
Well, they
I
could-
don't think it really matters. I think
They might be trying to discourage the other candidate.
Trump got a huge.
demoralize.
The
Like
reason
try and
why-
make them just feel that it's. But then it's rigged. Then you go tell them it's rigged.
The reason why Trump won the primary, I'm convinced, is because he would just get up on stage and say, "Look at the polls! I'm leading everywhere. I'm the best. You gotta vote for me." And it was just like It was like a brainwashing that just eventually took over, and it was like, yeah, look, Trump's leading. I gotta follow the leader.
Especially,
You know,
since
that's what it
it
becomes.
didn't even make sense that he was on that stage.
I know.
Like he
John
would have fit
Kasich,
much
what the
better on
hell?
the other stage.
I'm just gonna say John Kasich as much as I can in the last half hour
No,
of
Craig,
the show.
because he knew that his
Johnny
racist,
K.
bigoted mentality would only fly in that party, and it would never fly in the Democratic Party.
Johnny K.
You're right. The party of Hillary super predator.
Johnny K.
She apologized.
They're not
She
racist on the
apologized for
Democrats.
that.
Apology
She was
accepted.
And she actually said what she was apologizing for. She didn't say, "I'm sorry that I said some things that may have offended some people." That's the thing. I'm sorry you feel bad. That's not saying I'm sorry for what I said.
It seems like sorry's not enough for imprisoning so many minority youth. Sorry just doesn't seem like enough.
Okay, fine. We're gonna go that route. The Harlem Five or the Central Park Five that Trump said should have been hung, and they end up being innocent.
I'm not a Trump supporter, so I don't really
The
know.
cop out. The
what are you
great
try-
cop out.
I don't vote for Democrats or liberals.
What do you think Republicans are?
Right now, they're liberals.
You think Republicans are liberals right now?
Voting for Trump?
Yeah.
I mean, what else? You're not conservative. You're not
There's nothing conservative.
nothing
about
small government about him.
Pro-life.
Pro-life. Yeah. Like,
Sort of.
Which he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't
I was
5 or
gonna
6
say,
years ago.
yeah.
But hey,
and he's barely pro-life. It's only like what's legal now is he's cool with.
Are you pro-life, Craig?
Yeah.
Craig's very pro-life.
Well, I don't think there's a problem with birth control and stuff. Some people take it that far.
But you're saying no abortions ever.
Yeah.
Somebody gets accidentally
As
impregnated.
technology grows, the earlier the term is that we're able to keep a baby
Yeah.
alive. So I see it potentially getting to the point where once it has like a heartbeat or whatever, we might be able to take it immediately and
But then who pays for all these?
Yeah, but I mean,
babies
somebody gets
nowadays?
pregnant within the first 5 days, you know, you get it taken care of.
that would be the morning after pill.
Yeah.
I'm not against that either.
I personally would never want to be a part of like an abortion, but I'm not against someone else deciding to have it. I believe that's a personal thing. I don't think we should
As
be
a
telling
man,
people.
Greg, you would never really have to make that
Well,
decision.
no, even if you're well, hold on. I mean, Alex,
It's up to
we're
the
talking
woman.
about-
Should the
It's
man have
it
a
is
voice
up-
in that?
It's up to the woman
that's-
at the end
I don't
of the
believe.
day.
I don't believe that a man does have a choice in it. I just would feel bad.
What if the man
I personally
would
would
be willing?
feel like I wouldn't want if I did. Like it's
Yes,
just a
it has a
it's
personal
personal
effect, Greg, but it's at the end of the day not your decision to make.
No, that's what I'm saying. Personally, I'd rather not be involved with that. But I would never tell someone that they can't. I don't understand why.
Right. You're not going to say you must.
But
have
where
to.
does life
Yeah.
begin? Because if
Until
you
you're out
can't,
of the womb. Until you're
you
out of the womb. Out of the
Yeah.
womb.
But what if
I
you're
don't know
able to
exact- I
take
mean,
it
I
out of the
still
womb? What if you're able to take a baby out of the womb at 7 months, and they will be able to keep it alive on its own?
The
we
third,
gonna
the
start
third,
dumping a lot of money
third
into-
trimester.
Well, no, hold on. Are we
Third
going
trimester.
to put money into adoption agencies and foster care homes? Because
But see,
they're
I
not
don't
good
have a
enough
problem
right
with
now.
that, though. The policy
It's going to
behind
cost
it.
more tax money to do it. I'm fine with that if you want to pay more
Yeah.
to keep these people alive. But if no one's going to raise them, we're worried. We're not concerned about quality of life at all.
We should redistribute the money we're wasting in the prison system, imprisoning people for marijuana and stupid things like that, towards providing good
Foster care.
foster care.
I'd like to do a special on foster care, or at least talk about what, like, how many
Be an
people, like,
interesting one.
once you're put into adoption, how long people stay into adoption. The longer you stay, what happens? Like, once you're a 4 or 5 year old orphan, the odds of you actually getting
No,
adopted.
I had that friend Joel from high school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not going to use his last name, but Joel.
There were personal experiences in my family
yeah.
about this.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah.
adoptions are fascinating. It's people paying
He
$30,000
jumped around foster
for
family, foster family. I mean, it was like one of those true American foster family stories.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know.
The abortion issue, though, is really a moral issue.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you're gonna have, if you're religious, the person who is having the abortion is going to have to face God. And-
To me, that's the big thing. Is the punishment is in knowing that you have. Like, I feel like if you do have an abortion, that's going to mentally affect you. Like, there is a punishment.
So
That
what,
you-
what
when,
they do
when
in
you
Europe,
see another kid, if
Well,
you just have an abortion and you go out to the park with,
This is-
with your boyfriend,
this is why Europe's actually a lot.
so a woman you don't think she's going to be thinking about
We-
it when she sees a little kid?
we
I
should
think
do
it's
a
only
sh-
fitting to play this
we-
song while we're
we-
talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
this.
We should do a show about or a longer segment about just abortion, because Europe's actually, I think, on a better track with their laws than we are. We're actually way more progressive than they are with our abortion laws, and they provide counseling services and stuff. We'll do a better segment.
It's not a simple.
They have better laws over there.
It was an issue that I was hesitant to get into, but I'm glad we talked about it for a couple of minutes there, because it is a huge issue, and we talk about, a lot of people talk about single issue voting, and I think a lot of it comes down to abortion, and that's really what is defining this election is single issues, and whether it be climate change, whether it be abortion, whether it be
marijuana
legal. I mean, that to me, the funny thing about pot, just the quick sidebar on that is, it was such a issue last election, and then this election,
not one question.
We haven't. It was progressive in the classic sense that you would see it pop up in debates here and there.
No,
even on the local election, people would talk about, how do you feel about legalizing marijuana?
There are like 30 states right now that the voting is up again on.
Yeah,
this is a huge.
But it hasn't been brought up nationally at all. I think it's strategy. I don't think they want it to be an issue nationally, because if they don't make an issue nationally, then they can stay at the state level.
They're going to have a major problem with the prison situation, because they're going to be trying to fill all these
You're going to have to let a lot of people out.
Empty prisons. Well, no, they broke the law while it was illegal.
This is why Obama's on track to have the most pardons.
Do they?
I'm pretty sure. I don't understand how you wouldn't let someone out if you decide to go that the law we made was unjust. The law we made was wrong.
Yeah, I guess.
You have to let
the
president
would have to pardon them at least.
Or I don't know if a governor can pardon someone. I don't know whether that's possible.
Would have to involve the case because
a governor can pardon.
Some people are
a gubernatorial pardon.
Some people broke other laws though along with the drugs. So you would still have a lot of people staying in.
With the Norfolk 4. The governor of Virginia pardoned two of them. He pardoned two of them. That just happened. So, I think up to a certain crime level,
my view can be, as far as abortion goes, my view can be changed. I'm not really set in stone on it.
It's tough.
I just, until we can ensure a good quality of life for the lives we're saving.
You have a personal experience about it, and it just changes everything though, so it's crazy stuff. But I do want to move on here. We've been talking about a lot of different things. We're listening to Living in the Projects right now, which I just want to tune up for a second.
I thought you were going to play a different Tupac song.
It's a good one. And I'd just like to remind everybody that you listen to the Craig and Greg Show. I am your moderator, Alec Italiano. I'm trying to lead this conversation. Sometimes it gets a little crazy. Sometimes I go off on a tangent of my own.
Yeah, that wasn't in the script.
We're having fun. No, that was not in the script.
Not on the rundown.
Nor was Living in the Projects, but I just had a spontaneous little gesture to flick it on. So enjoy. Hey. Alright, I think that's enough about us talking about living in the projects. We are, after all, in Jeanette, Pennsylvania. I'm not willing to not disclose that. I'm proud to be in Jeanette. Just got back from a lengthy planning commission meeting today. Whew, was it a doozy. This show got held up late for that one. But, there were zoning regulations to talk about, so that's what we talked about.
Already falling asleep?
Yes.
I heard zoning regulations and my eyes got tired.
It's a prevailing issue in today's cities and townships and boroughs. But anyways, I want to round into this show here. Talking about email scandal. Look at Comey trying to put something in here last minute. Trying to be a player. Trying to be making the headlines maybe, I think.
I think he had an unfair situation.
How's that, Craig?
It's kind of a lose-lose. You're either going to release this after the election and look like you were withholding information, or you release it beforehand and you're going to say you're trying to influence the election. What do you do?
Once he talked
as soon as you get the information, you come out. That's what I think.
When he decided, the FBI is not supposed to comment on the investigation.
Yeah.
What the FBI does is he's supposed to give a paper to Loretta Lynch that says we found nothing
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Well,
He did not need to notify Congress,
But
and
he
therefore
did
the,
because
the
of what
public.
Bill did. When Bill compromised Loretta Lynch by going on the plane, it made it so she couldn't give the hearing. She couldn't
doesn't-
do the hearing. So
there's
Comey said, I'm going to do it
specific-
for you.
This is where I get lost. This is not where I get lost. This is where I come to a decision. Is there's specific policy written that under a current investigation, if it can influence the outcome of an election, then you don't make it public. Like, I don't see, it's pretty black and white.
But-
there is no room
But
for
do you realize, though, okay,
misinterpretation.
if he didn't do it, and then 6 weeks after Hillary is elected, he comes out and says this, that we've been sitting on these emails. Trump is going to have people taking up pitchforks, blow torches. I heard one guy was talking about, he was
That
telling
might
him to get
happen anyways.
jackhammers. He said, pick up your jackhammers. We'll go and this is the guy introducing Trump. Pick up your jackhammers. We'll go and attack Washington. I mean, of
I
all
hope that was
inefficient
metaphorical.
weapons
Yeah,
to
I
be
don't
had-
think that was. I don't think he meant that literally.
he said blow
I hope not.
torches, jackhammers, pitchforks, the whole nine. Grab whatever weapon you can. We're marching on D.C.
He said we're marching on DC.
Yeah,
Or we're
they're
tearing
ready.
up
They're
Washington.
ready to. They're ready to take down the Bastille.
I don't-
This
I
is
can't-
the
I
French
just can't believe
Revolution.
that-
Is like this is the
I
guillotine.
think you're stretching the
Hillary's
truth,
head's
though.
rolling down the street. This
I'd like
is-
to get the audio.
Oh man, I'm rolling
think-
my eyes in case anybody can't see. So it's radio, but you know,
He couldn't have. He had to say it now. I don't think he was wrong for doing it. I think it's back. I think it's actually helping Hillary. I think it's galvanizing. Now she can start saying it's
In an
fixed.
end way
It's
round,
fixed.
maybe.
The Republican FBI is playing partisan.
The thought
politics
crossed
and
my
trying to
mind.
have
She
a
was
debate.
just saying that.
I know.
the thought,
I know.
the thought crossed my
Craig,
mind.
I know. I know. This is ridiculous.
These are the parts
I
of the
know.
election that just are just so wow.
I know. I was never one though. I didn't like when Comey did what he did the first time. I don't think he should have got in front of Congress and people. I don't know why Democrats praised him for that because she came and said she's an idiot, she's stupid. Clearly, she did make mistakes that would make you really question about voting for her, but nothing to put her in jail. So it wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement. It wasn't exactly like Comey came out and said, no, you guys are overblowing it. This was nothing. This wasn't even a big deal. He said, yeah, it was a pretty big mess up. Not criminally liable, though. During his original, we're talking his July hearing with the Senate.
Yeah, but we're
So I don't know why Democrats decided to jump out and go, Comey gave us a big break. He really didn't. He could have just went and said, we have nothing, I'm done. He doesn't really have to stand there and
normally
take
that
questioning like that.
whole scenario doesn't even happen. In a normal
Loretta Lynch would have had to do that. She
Yeah,
would have had
that's
to, as representative of the
That-
DOJ,
and that's
as
thing.
Comey's boss, she would have to come out and explain how her
I'm not
subordinates
saying
stand
Comey
to it.
shouldn't have come out and said anything. Like, I understand his responsibility and all that, but he did not have to write the letter to Congress. That was not. That was not standard protocol.
I'm not mad that he did.
took it
I really
upon.
don't think that was that wrong.
Okay, I understand that you're not mad about it, but he did that on his own. This is him sort of going rogue.
Covered
He
his
did not
ass.
need to do it.
Covered his
Yeah,
ass.
It was not.
From what we're hearing is he was getting a lot of resignation, asking for resignation on his desk, and he kept ignoring them and waiting. And this opportunity came up, and that's what he just went with.
Yeah, but he's following. He's upholding.
The Republicans had
Constitution
already
at the end of the
divorced
day.
him because he didn't agree to lock up Hillary, and this was his way to get back on their good side.
Sort
He
of.
had to. If he didn't, he would have been accused of being even more corrupt afterwards, and it would have tainted the election. He had to put it out there.
All right.
it
Trump
part-
wins the election. Do you blame Comey? If you're a Democrat, because I certainly would.
I don't know. I
11
don't
days
know.
before the election,
No,
and Trump wins.
no. This is not a reason you should lose.
What's the
She
gap?
loses
What was
because there
the
are other
Greg? What was
issues.
the gap? Tell me. Let's talk about the gap in Pennsylvania again. 11-6, 11-5.
Don't know if I don't think.
Tell me the emails didn't have anything to do about that,
But the
Greg.
emails
Just
are from
tell me.
WikiLeaks. The
Just
emails-
tell me. Make the argument.
No, I do not believe the potential for Anthony Weiner's email server, that all it was Uma Aberdeen had to upload her phone onto
And
her
they
husband's email.
accidentally
The
ran into
cloud
these
took all the
emails.
emails up. The majority of them are repeats. Everyone knows there's nothing on it. I don't think one person is changing their vote as a result of this. This is no worse than anything that came
you don't
out
think
in the
there's
Clearly,
Clearly,
anything.
6% of the
Not one. Not
6%
one.
of Pennsylvanians
So you-
disagree with you.
I think
So
that more
Hillary-
people are admitting. I don't think they're changing it. I think these people have been there the entire time. I think Pennsylvania polling has been off.
So Hillary's the only one who had questionable information on other servers.
I haven't seen one out of all the leaks. I have not seen one question. You can talk about the C. and we can go round and round on that all day. I have not read a document that I felt compromised national security.
I haven't read any
that was
of
leaked
those.
from Hillary.
They haven't been released.
The
WikiLeaks
only
hasn't
thing,
got
the
them.
only thing that has been released is pay for play, which, mind you, is not why we were ever looking at our emails. That is
WikiLeaks-
not why we were looking into this. We were looking for mishandling of classified information. There may have been some information that was retroactively classified, but I haven't seen anything yet that I look at and go,
You haven't seen
wow.
anything yet.
No, not one email
I know.
that I'm
They
saying,
haven't
oh my
listened
God,
out.
that was dangerous. If a foreign country reads this email, we are in trouble.
You can only see the FBI release, but we haven't seen emails.
I have not. No one yet has shown me one email where I look at and go, that is some sensitive information that should not be shared. In my opinion, I don't understand the FBI's classification system. I'm not trying to argue. I'm just saying
A lot of it
what
was
would cause me-
retroactively.
What would cause me to change my vote
classified.
and to make me think differently on this is if there was an email for me to read that goes, oh, that really
You-
compromised our country's
you think
security.
the-
Just the potential.
Like, here
for it.
Iran,
You
here are the
think the
nuclear
FBI would
codes.
a shady
release-
deal.
Yeah.
A shady
you-
deal.
you-
Shady Katie.
Giving the location of a particular
You-
troop or ambassador.
By the way, John Casey.
You think if there was something that was actually like serious classification
Johnny K.
that on during this investigation, the FBI would release that for me and you to see. WikiLeaks hasn't hacked her server. They hacked the DNC.
I know that's the best part. No, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know.
That's why what WikiLeaks is doing is criminal
yes.
because they're hacking
Yes.
private.
It would be still
a
criminal
private
if they
organization.
hacked
yeah,
the
it'd be,
FBI.
but it would be
Yeah.
that would be against our. That'd be like almost an act of war
I mean, you could consider this an act of war.
against
you-
a private organization. The DNC is not government. They're a
Trying
private
to, I mean,
organization.
anybody trying to affect our election is messing.
Oh, yeah, you could
with,
take that, yeah.
like it's kind of. I mean, it's not as traditional act of war, but I'm saying is
Well, it's modern act of war. It's 2016
yeah,
act of war.
cyber. Which I'm surprised in this election that we don't have a more tech savvy candidate running.
But this email issue though is way more important.
I haven't
than
heard.
people
Do you,
realize.
do you have an email to show that was dangerous? If
Well, no,
you're
I
saying
wouldn't
that
have it. The
FBI went-
investigation's going on right now. With the ongoing investigation, I don't have the emails.
Until I see it, I can't.
All we have is what we know from inside sources and whatnot, and these articles and stuff you can read all over online.
But
All these articles.
But
and
do you
that.
have a particular issue that you're raising, or just?
Well, my problem is, this was released in the WikiLeaks, right? Is the pay for play from these Middle Eastern countries where she's getting donations. She's soliciting to receive money to give access from within the government while she's Secretary of State and then becoming president. These people are expecting something in return. What if you're a Middle Eastern oil state and you're donating to Hillary Clinton? What do you think the motive is for that? Just because you like her? She's just cool.
Nah,
She's good.
No one's arguing.
Like they're expecting something back for it. She's selling access. She's selling our government's access. I feel like
That's
that's
not really.
to me that's a problem. I don't think our leaders should be selling access.
So then you're against.
It's kind of like a Bernie thing. Bernie's really against.
No, it is, but Bernie is.
So I don't
against
see why
super
anybody on the
PACs,
Bernie side
But
would
super
come-
PACs are pay for play.
Okay, and she
Every
communicates with them
candidate-
too.
the whole
which is also
RNC and
illegal.
DNC.
She's also caught now
When the NRA
communicating between
when
the
the
super PAC.
NRA donates all this money to the RNC, you don't think they're expecting certain play of different commercials of different policy issues?
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
It's our system. Our system is
But
nobody
when you're
donates
selling to-
$100 million just
are-
because they like
are other
somebody.
countries, other countries donating to. That's where my thing. That you have Middle
Russia?
Eastern countries, terrorist states donating to Hillary Clinton's campaign, and they're expecting something back out of it. She's promised something back, and not even
in
donating to her
appearance.
campaign. They're donating to the Clinton Foundation, let me remind you, when
It's
they
a
left the
go-between.
White House, they claimed they were broke. Now they're worth over $300 million from creating a
But
charity.
you do know that the Clinton Foundation is a broker of people who want to donate to charities and people who have charities that they have access to. So if Bono comes out and says, I want to get a part of this particular Darfur crisis, Hillary has access with the Darfur prime minister. I'm just picking a random country. No specifics I'm trying to name here. But she's just connects the two. So it makes sense for people that live in situations where they might need help for them to be close to the Clinton Foundation, because the Clinton Foundation is also close to people who have money that they don't necessarily have access. Bono can't exactly get contact with a lot of these foreign country diplomats. Oprah, a lot of different people. Trump, if he wants to work out a deal, say over in Great Britain, but he's having an issue with a particular policy in Scotland. He doesn't want the wind turbines out in the ocean. Well, he can't exactly pick up the phone and call the prime minister. Hillary can. So Donald pays to use Hillary's force and leverage to get contact.
I thought this whole election with the whole Bernie Sanders thing was to stop this.
You are right.
So why are they voting for it now?
Because both
they're cool with it now. They like it.
One is heads and one is tails. Trump isn't coming out and saying I'm against campaign financing. Bernie Sanders wanted to set a limit on the amount that you could, as an individual,
so why
that you could donate to
that
a
whole
person.
entire Bernie vote? Why wouldn't they just go to a Green Party candidate or a Johnson candidate?
I mean, there are a lot of people that think not only is Donald Trump not conservative, he's unconstitutional. He's a tyrant and authoritarian. Whereas Hillary is just incompetent. If Hillary gets in, the Congress is going to be able to fight her back on anything she wants to do. Congress isn't going to be able to fight Trump.
Why?
Trump, they can't now. You're watching Paul Ryan and John McCain and
They
Lindsey
can't impeach
Graham
him?
spin circles.
They couldn't impeach him.
There is,
If he's unconstitutional, they could start
as
an impeachment proceedings.
you don't.
What else?
Constitutionality is an interpretation. Whether you believe in a living constitution or you're an originalist. There are two different types of jurisprudences. You don't really impeach. Abe Lincoln broke the Constitution. When he suspended the writ of habeas corpus, that was unconstitutional. You are not. Everyone has a right in America to a fair trial. He just started locking up some people at the ports that were giving him problems with still accepting slave ships coming in. He said no more slave ships. There were still states that were ignoring him and taking him in. He arrested them. Didn't give them a trial. He treated them as a prisoner of war. That's against the Constitution. You don't really get suspended so much for going against the Constitution as you get suspended for treason. And I don't think Trump's necessarily being treasonous. And as much as I might dislike him, I don't think he would do anything to get impeached. Impeached is more if you break a crime. Going against the Constitution, I'm talking undermining anybody's interpretation of it.
Well,
but that's not really...
how are they going to keep Hillary in check but not keep Donald in check?
Because they can
half the Republican Party is against Donald as it is.
I told you earlier, I'm concerned about how much Trump is going to be actively campaigning to get rid of adversaries. He
can do that anyways. He doesn't need to get elected to go do that.
Oh, but he's not elected. Who cares? If he wanted to go get rid of it, doesn't matter.
Well, he has a pretty strong support base. Pretty strong 30%.
They are, but they don't really transfer. Because the same 30% that he gets, 40% of people go, I can never vote for somebody that wants his 30%. His 30% isn't really something that can be attached to things. So I know a lot of people have been saying that he's going to have.
What would it matter when he gets elected?
All right, guys. I'm going to.
A lot of the people voting for him.
Trump says, "I want a policy. I'm not going to pick one of your judges." He says, "I'm going to pick this. I'm going to pick my sister. I'm going to pick something that I want to put in there." People originally object. Trump picks those people out and starts attacking their position. Starts trying to get them eliminated and saying that I'm not going to resist you. We're not going to start going against you in primaries, in down ballot races, if you just do what I want. That's what I'm concerned about. And I don't, the way he's threatening to attack his adversaries, Paul Ryan's not going to be in charge anymore if I get in. Anybody that goes against the king, he wants written off. He wants to change libel laws so he can start shutting down free speech. I know a lot of people are concerned about their Second Amendment. I'm concerned about my First. That, to me, is the most important. Once we can't start expressing...
But you
like
stole a Trump sign. You don't care about your First Amendment.
Whoa! Totally false. I did not do that. That's not true at all.
Oh, you put it back.
Did you
That
see
is
it?
total blasphemy.
What are you talking about?
That is total blasphemy.
I didn't see it.
That is total blasphemy.
You don't know what you're talking about. Oh man,
hate
what
Trump
a
signs.
good Craig and Greg show it has been. I'd like
Blasphemy.
to thank everybody
You're a
for
liar,
listening
Craig.
so far.
You're a liar.
I am your host, Alec Italiano. I'm over here with Greg, screaming in your ear. And
I'll tell you what, if I was 17, I would steal every Trump
Craig
sign
over
that
here to
existed.
my Craig over here to my left. We've been talking about a lot of different things so far. We've been talking about the current state of the election. We've been talking about McGinty. We've been talking about Trump. We've been talking about WikiLeaks, Comey. Was it fair? Was it not fair? A lot of things going on right now. Pay for play, all this stuff. But we have about 10 minutes left in this show. and I believe Greg has some
Yes.
comments to make about this election.
Things I hate.
Things that you hate,
Just
Greg.
to keep this short and quick, this
Yes.
has been bothering me for a while.
Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it all.
This
let it all
whole,
loose.
the only argument that either side, well, mainly I think Hillary's more guilty than Trump of making is a vote for the third party is a vote for the opposition.
Right.
By definition, it's not. A vote for the opposition is a vote for the opposition's name.
We love defining things when we argue with Greg.
It's
don't
not
we?
a
Don't
vote.
we, Craig?
I'm not voting for Trump if I vote for Gary Johnson.
Right.
Because
right.
I would have otherwise voted for Hillary Clinton. Maybe my party's just aligned more with the Libertarian Party. If you follow this logic, there will never be a chance for a third party. Because technically, really,
Right.
if you're considering a vote not for your
it's
candidate,
the two-party like mind.
it's a fallacy. It's a logical
Yes.
fallacy that's not really fair. But I do understand that if you are concerned that the person who's probably going to win, okay, so Gary Johnson I support the most. But I believe Donald Trump's going to ruin the entire country.
Right.
Hillary's the only one with a reasonable chance of stopping him.
So
Do I symbolically vote for Gary Johnson because those are the policies that I tend to lean more
I
towards?
understand exactly where you're coming from. 'cause
Or do I play a defensive vote or a
Yeah.
negative vote, as they're calling it now?
that
so
was,
you
that's
vote
what I
for the
did
person
last
you
time.
align the best with.
But if that ruins America, if you actually believe that,
It's easy
it's
to
not that I
believe
just
in
think
that,
Trump's going to be a
but-
bad president. I think Hillary's going to be a bad president. I think Trump will be the worst ever.
I think
by a
that's-
landslide.
I think that's why I
don't think
there-
it's ever. We've never had this.
there
We've
were-
never had this kind of person.
That's why I
get this
voted
close to the White
Gary,
House.
I didn't think Mitt Romney was going to be a terrible president.
No,
I thought he was-
McCain. This makes me like
You know.
George Bush. I
Yeah.
am now a George Bush fan.
I saw a
After
meme.
all those years of
on,
fighting, I was overly critical of George Bush because I was young and I played partisan politics too. I
Right.
was 18 and anything the Democrats said, I was going to go with.
Yeah.
So
So did I.
things like the flyover of Katrina, the vacationing, making a big deal about his vacations. I was ignorant when I talked about that. In retrospect, I wish those are the problems we are dealing with now.
Yeah,
I would have
really.
George Bush. I would vote for back in a minute. I'd rather see Obama do 4 more years with George Bush as his VP. And let's pick new candidates for the next.
That was one of my random questions. Is why do presidents take so many vacations, anyways, Greg?
It's a stressful job. It is a stressful job, and you can take your work with you. You don't have to sit in the
We
White House.
criticized Bush for doing it. We criticized Obama for
I
doing
would
it.
vacation. I would love
You take your work with you, though. I guess.
do.
I mean,
It's
you
a
got
change of scenery.
you-
Sometimes it's inspiring.
Air Force One was meant to be like a mobile command center, right? So there you go.
You don't want your president to be depressed.
Yeah. Why we
Or
wouldn't
do
have
you?
Republicans are
Okay.
probably asking that.
More
very
things I
question
hate.
Right now. Yeah, Greg. What else do you hate?
I'm voting for a candidate, but I don't endorse them.
Mm.
Then shut up. If you're voting for it, but you're embarrassed to say you're voting for it, because
Johnny K.
Well, no, he didn't. I respect what Johnny K did.
I know,
What
but I'm just inserting his name random points throughout
Great,
the show.
because that's not counterproductive to the final 10 minutes.
They're not endorsing because they're trying to separate themselves from the
But
candidate.
if you are that embarrassed of your vote, then you shouldn't be voting for it. There is no way.
Yeah.
If Trump turns out to be a disaster, there is no way I'm letting it fly from Paul Ryan that he goes, well, I really didn't like him, but I voted because I felt I had to. That means a man who stands for nothing falls for everything. That's pathetic. There is nothing weaker than essentially everyone voting for Trump is voting for him because he's not a politician, that he says what he means. A lot of the Republicans and some Democrats are showing they're just going to vote for
What if you don't trust her
they fall in
judgment,
line.
but you
Democrats fall in love,
what if
Republicans
some,
fall in line.
just for some of these Republicans side, what if you just don't trust her judgment after hearing about what happened in Benghazi? You see
If-
the email scandal.
yeah,
You
if-
just really don't trust her judgment, and
If
Trump
you-
hasn't shown you anything where he doesn't have bad
I
judgment.
don't have a problem for the people who are enthusiastically supporting Trump. If you believe Hillary is the devil and that she's going to ruin the Constitution, then
I'm
I
saying
understand
you could
why
look
you
at
vote
her-
for Trump.
Trump as the lesser of two
I'm fine
evils.
with that. If that's what you,
I'm-
that's what you honestly believe.
I'm willing to bet that majority, probably 75% of Hillary's vote is just saying she's the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah, I think.
So these people who are saying they're trying to get people to vote for him, but they're saying I don't really agree with him all that much, but he's better than her. He's the lesser of the two evils.
If-
That's what they're saying.
if that's
That's exactly what
then
I'm
you
saying.
have to come out and endorse it. You have to accept that you are voting for him. You can't say that I'm casting a vote, but I'm not behind it. So you're just trying not to. You're responsible.
You're leaving yourself up to say I will ridicule him whenever he does when he's wrong. I'm going to challenge him. I'm going.
Yeah, you're gonna have to be accountable.
If you endorse the candidate, you can't do that.
A vote is it? But I guess what I'm saying is a vote is an endorsement. You don't vote for something and not endorse it. If I do vote for Hillary, I'm going to have to defend Hillary. Now, that doesn't mean I might not switch parties at the end of this election. This might be the last time I
But
ever
you
vote
will have
Democrat.
to justify your
I'm
vote,
feeling
but
no
won't you, Greg?
loyalty to the Democratic Party right now.
but you still have to
yes,
justify your vote.
You have to justify
Yes,
your vote.
right.
And I can explain why I don't think Hillary is going to be constitutionally catastrophic. However, if she ends up on trial for the first 2 years of her presidency, that is going to be a total disaster.
Do you,
She might be. Unless people
Nixon,
keep...
all over.
Do you have one more point to make before we get into final thoughts here, Greg?
Oh, yeah. People that saying I'm only voting for my party because of the Supreme Court justice. Every time
McGinty
you
Toomey.
vote for a president, you are voting for the person who will be appointing the next Supreme Court justice.
democracy.
That is the same 100 years ago as it was 64, and it is now. So don't tell me I only have to vote for Trump or Hillary because the other side's going to ruin the Supreme Court. Quite frankly, these guys are old, and they could go down at any moment from anything. Like, when you nominate your
Anything.
president, you now, if your logic is you think we should be voting on Supreme Court justices, like I'm half of a mind to say, is that maybe this shouldn't be presidential appointment.
Half of a mind?
I don't know. I
Or
don't know.
a
I don't know how
full mind.
ridiculous. No, half a
Right.
mind. Half a
Okay.
mind. Not full
Because
mind.
I think it is a little ridiculous.
Not full minded.
I don't think we vote judges here
I guess-
in Pennsylvania.
I guess deep
I
down-
mean, it's
deep
not
down-
that crazy.
Deep down, what I want with this election is a compromise that the losing party picks a Supreme Court justice. So we keep a balance either way. We're not going to have all of one. No matter what, then, we will not have three parties aligned with no real clear plan as to where we're going to go. So I would like a guarantee that I would feel a lot more comfortable with Trump if we had a Democrat in to keep in check on the Supreme Court.
Fair
I would
enough.
feel a lot more safer with Hillary if a Scalia Republican was on there to keep her in check. I don't like the fact that this presidential winner is going to be coming with basically a hall pass from the Supreme Court because they're going to get to determine where they...
Fair enough.
Right.
Let's get into some final thoughts here. We got about 4 minutes left. I'd just like to remind everybody they're listening to the Craig and Greg Show. I am your host, Alec Italiano. And we had a great show here for you today. If I don't want to toot our own horn a little too much. But my final thought, I'm just going to kick off the final thought section, is a little thought about early voting. I still don't like it on premise. I agree with you, Greg. It should be a national holiday. I don't see why you have all these votes cast early. 'Cause
Labor Day.
Look what happened with
Labor
COVID.
Day. Make Labor Day.
Change it.
Just change Labor Day to the voting day. Everybody
It makes
gets it off.
looking criminalistic.
No
And
early voting.
I do want to just throw out there real quick that I think it was really funny that my boy John Kasich, Johnny K, rode in McCain today. Just thought that was
When
just
you were running for president,
yeah.
were you obviously not the best candidate?
Why
then?
didn't you vote?
Why'd
for
you
yourself?
stay in so long?
Yeah,
He thinks he's funny.
I guess.
Like Kasich probably goes with his little friends, his little friend group, and he's like, everybody stuck it to the man this
I
year.
didn't like Kasich before, but that made me dislike him even more.
I loved him
hated
before.
The fact that he's tried.
Loved him.
I hate
Thought he
the
was a
fact that
great
he claims to have
candidate.
came in second. He just didn't get the hint.
Yeah.
Any candidate could have stayed in there that entire time, not received any votes, and just said, "I'm still running."
I wish you would
I'm
have took it to
Forrest
the
Gumping it
convention.
across the United States
he-
until everyone passes out.
I wish he would have took it to the convention with all 5 of his supporters.
Why not? man?
Alec would've
Charge
been
it.
I would have been there. I would have been
Charge
there.
it.
Let's go, Craig. What was one of your favorite memories from the election so far? 2000. So we got 6 days left.
I don't know.
We got 2 minutes left in the show.
I got tons of memories. I got
Good.
tons of memories.
You think you brainstorm,
Bring
Greg?
some memories
I-
out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't really
but-
know what.
I'll take you. Let's do a little walk back through this
Let's do a
this,
little
this
walk back.
election.
She wrote
Mine
them
was
all
just
down.
John Kasich
All
in
right.
general was my favorite memories. So.
Oh, remember when Trump talked about his dick size on the debate stage?
I do remember
That
that.
was amazing.
That was probably one of my favorites.
I know what
I
they
completely
said.
forgot
People
about
have been
that. yeah.
implying that I have small hands, so obviously I have problems in other areas. Trust me, there are no other
I
problems.
can't believe that.
Then he gets our Dr.
was
Oz,
awesome.
and as Dr. Oz says, he is the highest testosterone of anyone he's
Crazy.
ever seen.
An election like we've never seen before. I mean, just
And then Rubio apologizes.
PR at its
Out of all
finest.
that, Marco comes out and
PR at
goes,
its
I shouldn't have
finest.
talked about penis size. Like, it's
yeah.
like, ah.
And we got wiener investigations. Get it? Wiener investigations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we started talking about dick size, and
Yeah,
now we're
I
talking
know.
about
I bet
wiener email.
Comey
you
coming out
know the
with
Democrats
wieners.
would just wish Wiener would go away.
Oh my!
just
we
chop
all
that
do.
Wiener
That's
off.
why this whole
Chop-
conspiracy
chop
thing.
that
If they
wiener.
were a crime family, this guy would have been whacked so long ago. This proves that they aren't criminal. It's because really Wiener offers nothing. If he just died and went away, nobody in the Democratic Party would feel bad.
30
I'm
seconds
not-
left.
I'm
Craig.
not
about Huma.
Anything to add?
What about Huma?
I feel bad.
She was.
Oh, how could you not feel
I
bad for
feel
the
bad
wife?
for her. I don't think anyone should go through this.
Or I forget what they
Bill
call
playing
it.
with
She
balloons
learned all of her moves from
at the
Hillary.
DNC. Does anyone remember when he was on stage playing with the balloons?
No.
He was just hitting them up and down.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
something.
Oh,
That's
the
something.
DNC.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that image.
That was a good memory. 15 seconds left, Greg. Anything else? we
You're
get
the
there?
puppet. That's recent memory. And Donald Trump stole Ted Cruz's campaign style. He's like this whole idea of attacking the man. He stole his campaign manager with Kellyanne Conway. It stole his pride when he had to crawl back and he had to say, I'm voting. He had to do the phone lines. He was actually calling people to endorse Trump.
Yeah.
2 days before the video airs of Trump
Bad
saying,
timing.
that
That was
Terrible
terrible.
timing.
I just that man has been stolen. His like, and he would have
Well,
stole
Greg,
his wife.
I'm going to have to cut
He
you
would have
off
stole his
there.
wife, but he said she was
Thought-
too ugly.
Great show
He left
today.
her. He left him his wife. That's all he left him.
Great show today, guys. Everybody, thank you for listening. This is the Craig and Greg show with moderator
You're the
Alec.
puppet.
Have a good night, everybody.
I'm not a puppet. You're the puppet.